All right, guys, I am back with a brand new movie and TV show update. And I'm going to start mixing these together so that you guys can get all your movie and TV show news all in one place. And I'm going to continue to grab this stuff on a weekly basis and hopefully get these updates up weekly. I've been tied up doing this arcade cabinet that I've been building, and I'm taking a break from that for the time being. And so I'm going to have more time to devote to doing these videos. That project has sucked away just a ridiculous amount of my time. It wore me out. So I am back to getting into the swing of things of doing these videos. So we're going to jump in and look at some of the news. So here we go. So for those people who didn't know, Treat Williams was actually tragically killed in a motorcycle accident back on June 12th of this year. So just a couple of months ago. It said the man who crashed his car into Treat Williams' motorcycle June 12th has been charged with grossly negligent operation with death in connection to the actor's passing. This was sad to hear about this. I know him from several different films, and the last time I saw him was in Blue Bloods, and so he will be sorely missed. He's a really good actor, a unique voice, as a matter of fact, so he will be missed. So this was something interesting that came across my plate. It says the studio didn't like Zack Snyder's original ending for the movie Sucker Punch. Now this movie has been around for quite some time. It's probably over a decade old now. And it says that Zack Snyder still plans on doing a Sucker Punch director's cut, which I think would be cool. For people who haven't seen this movie, it's an entertaining film. I was surprised when I finally saw it at how good it actually was. Now, I laughed when I saw this. I don't think this is the case, but it says, Screen Rant posted this. They said, Margot Robbie's fantastic performance in Barbie proves she has what it takes to replace Johnny Depp in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I don't think that's the case. I think she could be a good addition, but nobody is going to replace Johnny Depp. And I will flat out say it now, and hopefully people understand this. You cannot have Pirates of the Caribbean without Johnny Depp. It is not going to work. So this is a long gestating movie that has been a long time in the works. The Edge of Tomorrow, which was a really good movie starring Emily Blunt and also Tom Cruise. Emily Blunt addresses the Edge of Tomorrow sequel. She says, I am so ready. Now, this movie originally had Bill Paxton in it. They had the script for the second movie ready to go, and Bill Paxton actually passed away after having some surgery and some complications from that surgery, and it kind of messed up their plans to do Edge of Tomorrow 2. But this movie is still being planned, and I do expect it to be coming out sometime soon. I bet it will get into high gear as soon as this writer strike and the actor strike does come to an end. So it appears that Vanessa Kirby is going to be joining the MCU, and that she is going to be Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four reboot that is being planned. And she was just last seen in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. She's been in the last few films, and so she looks like she will be taking the lead as Sue Storm. I could see that as a possibility. We'll find out when the movie does finally get released. So it shows here that Warner Brothers has lost on its HBO Max service over 1.8 million subscribers, and they've announced a $10.3 million loss in total revenue for its second quarter of this year. And going to Max from HBO Max was just, like they said here, it's a boneheaded rebrand. You take out the one thing that gave it its identity, the HBO, and you go to this, it's kind of short-sighted in their part. And for those who don't know, and I don't think I have a slide for this, Disney Plus is going to be doubling in cost here in about a month or so. So Disney Plus will no longer be $6.99. It's either going to $12.99 or $13.99 here very shortly. There's a couple of services that are having some uptick in prices. Now, I thought this was interesting. It says acclaimed filmmaker Christopher Nolan, and he is, especially with Oppenheimer right now in theaters, killing it. They expect it to break $1 billion. He criticized studio executives for forgetting the essence of what makes classic movies such as Star Wars work. Christopher Nolan slams Hollywood's willful denial of what made Star Wars a hit. And he's right. He's absolutely right. In fact, it's taken a long time, but Ahsoka Episode 4 aired on Disney Plus last night, and it was phenomenal. It was the first time that I felt like a Disney Plus show felt like Star Wars, and it was really well done. And they need to get back to that. And it's because the studios interfere, and they basically have a political agenda with their stuff. Now, this was cool. I really wanted to do this update a while ago because this here is a couple of weeks old. But it said Oppenheimer's IMAX 7mm run extended again due to popular demand. This movie is still making quite a bit of money at the theater. I did a box office update for the Labor Day weekend for this year that will have just been posted prior to this. And this movie is less than $150 million away from breaking $1 billion at the box office. And that's a big feat for a movie like this. It was phenomenal. All right, so here's your Beetlejuice 2 cast. So you can see some returning. Half of these characters are returning. 3 of them are new. We have Monica Bellucci, William Dafoe, and Jenna Ortega coming in along with the 3 returning actors. That's going to be pretty cool. This movie has been listed as a family-friendly film, and it is currently in production. I've talked about this before on a previous update. So we know that Tron, the sequel for Tron, Legacy was coming out, and they asked the question, are you still waiting for the next Tron sequel? Tron Ares filming has been delayed. Director calls strike tactics extremely frustrating. So this is another movie that's been held up. I'm not so sad about this because it does not look like it is a true sequel or that it is going to follow up Legacy, which is an incredible film. I really liked Legacy a lot, and we're not getting the same director back, and we're not getting the same actors back. So I'm not really happy about this sequel moving forward, but Disney likes to do its own thing. So Ridley Scott recently came out. He had directed the last Alien movie, Alien Covenant, and he really wishes he would have done Blade Runner 2, which just came out about 3 years ago. And he has regrets about directing the Prometheus sequel over doing Blade Runner 2. Now, I personally don't think he made a bad decision. In fact, I really wish Disney would have let him come back and make the third and final film in this Alien trilogy he was planning. Instead, they're doing a TV show and a movie unrelated to what Ridley Scott started. And there's still a story to be told that would tie it all together. And I don't know if that's ever going to happen now, which is going to be a shame after getting 2 sequels. And Blade Runner 2 was phenomenal, and the individuals who did that did a great job doing Blade Runner 2. All right, now I don't think I've talked about this. I've talked about this somewhere, and I don't remember where. I don't know if it was on my last update or not, but there are some surprising movies that are coming out on physical media. So if you're a movie person, like I am, that collects physical media, this is some pretty big news. 20th Century Century Studios, who is owned by Disney, has set Prey, the 2022 film, for Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K Ultra HD release on 10-3. So just in October of this year, we're going to see a physical release on this movie that was streaming only. I will be picking this up. I thought it was a really good sequel to the whole franchise. So I'm looking forward to this Predator movie and adding it to my collection. Along that same note, we are also getting a couple of big shows from Disney Plus are being released on 4K, Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and DVD. And I've already pre-ordered these from Disney. I'm getting the Steelbook on The Mandalorian Season 1 and 2, but they're also releasing Loki, the first season, and WandaVision, the complete series. We never thought these shows were ever going to see the light of day on physical media, so I'm holding out hope that we get Andor, that we also get the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and I hope we definitely get Ahsoka when it is finally done. They stand to do nothing but make money by releasing these physical copies. All right, so it has officially been announced that Warner Brothers' film slate does get some changes. Dune Part 2 has officially been delayed until 2024, and Aquaman 2 is going to keep its December release date. And we still don't have a trailer, which is very odd for Aquaman 2. All right, so I don't know how many people know out there, but there is a new movie by Ridley Scott coming out called Napoleon, and he actually has a 4.5-hour cut of Napoleon that he'd love to release. It features more of Josephine's life before she meets Napoleon. This movie looks very interesting. I'm looking forward to this. I'm hoping it can be on the scope of some of his other films like Gladiator. I do like Ridley Scott I think he's a fantastic filmmaker, and I am looking forward to this movie. If you haven't checked out the trailer yet, definitely check it out online. All right, and this weekend, The Equalizer 3 hit a home run. It wins the box office with the second biggest Labor Day weekend ever. This weekend was phenomenal. I just did my box office update. I did not include this still with that update, but it's important to note, this is my movie and TV show update, that this film does stand in line with the other two movies, and I thought this was a phenomenal film. Almost as good as the first one. Second one I thought was decent, but this one was phenomenal. I am going to be seeing this film a couple more times while it is in theaters. You can't miss with Denzel Washington. This is something I grabbed today, and I'm happy about this. Mayor of Kingstown Season 3 has officially been announced for the Jeremy Renner series. For those who don't know, Jeremy Renner was almost tragically killed in a snowmobile accident last winter. And he is officially coming back to reprise his role for the Mayor of Kingstown Season 3, which I'm looking forward to. I really love the first two seasons. It's a hardcore show. And it is, if you have not checked this out, definitely check it out on Paramount+. Paramount+ has some awesome shows. There's also a show with Sylvester Stallone, I forget the name of it, that was decent, but this is definitely a phenomenal show. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's kind of in the vein of something like Sons of Anarchy, but a little more hardcore. It's a really well-done series by the creator who did Yellowstone and some other films, so you can't miss with this one. All right, so a couple of other things to note that I don't have screen grabs for. For people who don't know, and you like the original Chicken Run movie, Chicken Run actually has a sequel coming out on Netflix, and they just released the first trailer yesterday. So you're going to want to go to YouTube here on this platform, go ahead and check out that trailer. I think you'll enjoy it. It looks like a worthy sequel to the original, and so that looks kind of fun. I will be bringing a whole lot more movie and TV show, a bunch of movie and TV show updates coming up in the near future. So if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up.